Good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live. Hope you're having a great day. Good start to the day. Today is question and answer Friday. Always busy. Lots of questions. Nick from our staff. Good morning. Mike. Andrea. Good to have you on with us this morning. Rosa. And Francis, Marie, Kim, good morning. And Jerry from New Brunswick. Jeanette, happy Friday, she says. Yeah. Troy, Dr. Troy from Newfoundland, our good buddy. And good to have you on, Troy, this morning. Okay, we got to get going soon, so I'm going to get going because I got lots of questions here. Maureen. And Sandy from Ottawa, nice to have you on. Susan, good to have you on with us this morning. Jocelyn from Sturgeon Falls, Ontario. Wendy and Linda, good morning to you. Okay, so I'll come on afterwards and say hi. Shelley from Manitoba, we're glad to have you, coast to coast. And Micheline, Connie, all good friends. You guys are great. We appreciate it. Okay, so let me get started because we'll never get finished if I don't. Lynn is asking, could Dr. Martin talk about new and sudden shortness of breath and pounding heart symptoms after a short flight of stairs on the keto diet, okay? So not doing the reset, but the keto. Look, anytime you change fuels, Lynn, anytime you change fuels, there can be some weird things happening. Okay, your body is not used to it, and your body has to get used to it. Okay, so keto, yeah, a little bit. Okay, but on the reset, things can happen. I'll tell you why. Okay, so simple. You have been feeding your brain. Takes 25% of your energy, 2% of your body weight, but 25% of your energy goes to your brain. It's headquarters, okay? If your brain is used to burning carbs, because it'll burn whatever you give it. If you eat sugar, it goes like a beeline to that brain, because the brain says, hey, give me that. It's what you're eating. It's not the best thing, but it doesn't matter. Your brain will take it and it will use it. And it's crappy fuels. So I bring you to the airport and we watch the trucks fill up the jets. Do you think they're using 87 octane? You know, you go to the gas pump, you fill up your car, you put 87 octane in. You put the cheapest gas you can. Your car can run on it. No problemo. But if you got a jet, you're not putting 87 octane in the jet. You're putting 99% octane jet fuel. Pure, 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 pure. And guys, that is the difference between eating a carbohydrate, sugar, bread, it turns into sugar in 5 seconds. Your brain will use it as a fuel, guys. It's just a crappy fuel. It's not a high octane fuel. So now you switch. Now you're eating better. Keto isn't quite as good, but the reset is, you see, reset is this. Whoop, no more carbs. Nada. None. Whoop, you are replacing the fuel. Now you're going to 99 octane fuel. Does your brain like it? Absolutely. Is it good for you? Absolutely. Is there an adjustment period? Usually. So Lynn, you're asking a good question, but don't get freaked out. It's your body's adapting to the new fuel. Okay? You're not burning crappy carbs anymore. And that's generally when people get symptoms. okay? So thanks for the question. Okay, Lynn? Wendy, Dr. Martin mentioned a 3-day fast recently. Okay, now listen, Wendy, I don't want to be misquoted, so let me tell you what I said about a 3-day fast. I recommend a 3-day fast for someone who just got the diagnosis of cancer. Okay? They call me or they get a hold of me and say, Doc, what should I do? And I don't insist on this, but I tell them if they can, you want to empty out the tank of you're going to do the reset if you're smart. You got cancer, don't feed it. No carbs, no sugars, no fruit even. It's pretty strict. The fasting is, I didn't make that up. There are some of my colleagues who find that this can be very helpful for a cancer patient. I'm not big on a 3-day fast. And by the way, the reset is fasting without fasting. I almost named the book, The Metabolic Reset, I almost named it Fasting Without Fasting. It's in the book. You're fasting when you eat the right foods because why are you fasting? Well, because you're not using a lot of insulin. And the idea with intermittent fasting, and they call it autophagy or autophagy, is the body starts taking out the debris out of your body when you're not eating. And I'm telling you that same process the reset will detoxify you. And the first place that has to happen is in the liver. You're emptying your liver, even with eating. So look, you know me, I like intermittent fasting. I got no problem with it. Some people only eat once a day. Some people go, intermittent fasting is when you go over 14 hours of not eating. Now your body is doing something. So if you can implement it, we recommend it. For some, they find it hard. A diabetic finds it hard to do intermittent fasting, but they might, for example, have an early supper at, finish around 5 o'clock, and then don't eat till about 8 o'clock the next morning, if they can do it. But it's not like intermittent fasting is wonderful, but you're going to have to eat, and it's what you're eating in that window, and that's why eggs, meat, and cheese are the best things for you, because it is 99% rocket fuel. You're a jet, man. You want to be slugging along? Well, then just eat carbohydrates. It's as simple as that, okay? Good questions. Wendy, thank you. Barb, does blood boost bring red blood cell count? Yep, brings it up. You see your blood, and I think I mentioned this yesterday on an afternoon session. Your blood, guys, the life of the flesh, here's what the Bible says. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Your life's in that blood. And no wonder so many people don't have a lot of energy. They got very little nutrients in the blood, and they have little oxygen because they don't even realize that a lot of people live within that borderline anemic. And their red count, even if it's high, because I think somebody asked, well, what do I do if I have a high red count? Yeah, you might have a high red count, but usually those red blood cells, the bigger they are and the more they are, is not a good thing either. It's just another way of getting anemia. And so many people are anemic and they don't know it because their blood is within the normal limits. Blood testing, it's not that I dismiss it. I used to get people come in to the office, and I'm not kidding you, and I'd look at them and I'd say, "Hello, Casper." And they go, "What? You look like Casper the ghost." What? I said, "You're anemic." The nice thing is we used to do live blood, so I used to show them, "Oh, look at all those large red blood cells or empty red blood cells." They were empty. They were there. The numbers were there, but they didn't have any hemoglobin. They had very little oxygen. And I used to call them Casper because they literally were pale. Like, I mean, but, you know, I was very, look, when you're in functional medicine, you better be observant. Like, I just didn't rely on all the blood tests, even though I did a lot of blood tests myself. I got eyeballs. I used to look. Hey, man, you don't have a lot of blood. You're lightheaded. You're dizzy. You get up fast and you're dizzy. So a lot of that is that, and the blood boost is tremendous. Hey, guys, that's what we made it for, to build blood. And look at the label of it. You got, what, 100 things in there? It's not just, yeah, I put some heme iron in there. I put, you know, some, you name it, it's in there. But it's really made, because your blood is key, man. It's key. The life of the blood. Remember 100 years, I guess it's more than that, a couple hundred years ago, doctors thought they were smart. You know what they used to do? They used to take blood out of your body. Were they right? No, they were wrong. They should have read the Bible. You don't take blood out. You give blood. Okay? You give blood. Life of the flesh is in the blood, man. You need strong blood, and you need protein for blood. You need protein for blood. Eggs, meat, and cheese. You need protein. Okay. Mona says, since the reset, my husband said his eyesight has gotten worse. Okay. You can, Mona, you got my permission to tell your husband, and don't let him blame it on you, blame it on me. He's weird. Oh no, I'm supposed to say unique. Tell him he's unique. And look, it will correct itself. You know how many people go on the Martin Clinic Facebook group, scroll, get testimonies? You know how many people have improved their eyesight? Well, one of the big reasons is circulation. Look in an eye. You know what you see back there? Vessels, blood vessels, little capillaries and blood vessels. The four, I always said it's the highways, right? 401, you go to Toronto, 401, the 407, the 416, all those names are the highways, and that's what you see when you look in an eye. And guess what? When you're eating sugar, sugar first thing that sugar does is destroy blood vessels. That's why insulin is used to say, come here, sugar, blows the whistle. You know the traffic cop? You, out. Sugar can't stay in your bloodstream. And when it does, even, you know, this is what they're showing. Even moderately high sugar, meaning it's, oh, Dr. Martin, I'm not a diabetic. My sugar is 5.8. I put up all those figures the other day in a chart, okay? Even for the American numbers and then the Canadian numbers, okay? Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. If your sugars are even slightly elevated, you're in doo-doo and you need to change your diet because it's already happening in your body, guys. It's already happening. Sugar, even though it's, oh, you're not a diabetic. Oh, yeah? Well, you really are, without any doctor giving you the diagnosis. But let me just give you the heads up. What starts almost in days of having slightly elevated blood sugar is that it starts to the destruction of your blood vessels. It's the first thing that gets attacked is blood vessels. Okay? And this is why we live in a different world today where people are consuming 200 pounds of sugar a year. And these kids, right out of the gate, are full of sugar. And it's so destructive for them. No wonder we're so unhealthy as a population. It is absolutely terrifying. Okay. Francis, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Creutzfeldt-Jacob's disease. How does one get it? It's a very rare disorder, can cause dementia, Alzheimer's, and it can come after an infection. It's rare, okay? So I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Not many people get it. It comes after an infection. It can come even as a genetic disorder. What do you do about it? Well, again, I don't care what it is. Like, you got it. Look, I highly recommend the reset. Like, reset the body, guys. Change fuels. There's so many reasons to do it, whether it's autoimmune, whether it's genetic, whether it's rare or not. You got to eat anyways. And I'm telling you, your body is unbelievable. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body regenerates. You get brand new blood every 4 months. Every quarter. You get brand new blood. You get brand new blood. That means there's always hope. If you get brand new blood, there's always hope. But you better put in new blood. You get new blood, but you better fuel it properly. But that's what I tell people. I said, look, of course, you get older, it's always tougher. You don't heal as fast and all these things. But as long as you take a blood test, prick your finger, you got red blood, you're still alive. And your body, if you give it the tools, never give up. Never give up. Okay? Good question. Sandra says, what about if I have, I don't know if it's you, Sandra, it could be somebody else, toxic levels of vitamin D with no symptoms? Do you see, Sandra, my blood pressure going up? Look, it's a good question, okay? Doctors, they flag vitamin D. They rarely ever do it, meaning that they rarely ever test your vitamin D, and they should. But don't use the word toxic. Just use the word, I got high levels of vitamin D, okay? Now, I want you to have optimized levels of vitamin D, but here's Dr. Martin's statement. The waiting rooms are not full in the emergency departments in Canada or the United States because people are sitting there and going, what are you here for? Oh, I got high levels of vitamin D. You? I'm not feeling well. You? Hey, guys. And listen, if you do have, and it's not toxic, vitamin D, by the way, can I just say it? It's not a vitamin. It's a hormone. It's a biomarker in your body. Now look at, I don't want you to keep high levels of vitamin D, okay? I don't want you, I know it's a fat-soluble vitamin hormone, but you got an underlying condition usually. Like usually your kidneys are not working properly or your liver is full of fat. And that's how you can accumulate more vitamin D than you actually need. Clean out, that's why the reset is so good. Clean that liver out. And the reset fixes your kidneys too. Okay? So, look, these are all good questions. I want you thinking. I love that. Okay? Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Ask me the question. Okay? You got no symptoms? No, don't worry about it, but fix it. If it's like in the 400s or whatever, you don't need vitamin D to be that high, but there's an underlying reason for it. And fix that. Okay? And fix that. Anna, what is the best oil to clean earwax? Not really my expertise, but I find, again, okay? I'm just going to tell you what Dr. Martin thinks, okay? When you have a buildup of earwax, usually, this is my opinion, it is a sign that you have leaky gut. Leaky gut, leaky lungs. Leaky gut, leaky skin. Leaky gut, leaky sinuses, leaky gut, leaky ears, too much wax. The body is overreacting, in my opinion, to an underlying fungal yeast infection. You don't see it, but it's being manifested in the body, and you want to take care of it. Probiotics. Look, you can, be very careful anytime you get in the ear, the wax and, build up but there's a reason it's being built up. In my opinion, it is a sign of Candida albicans. Start with the gut. And if you want to use a little bit of olive oil, maybe a little bit of warm olive oil to dislodge some of that. A little bit of coconut oil. Probably coconut is a little even better because coconut is antifungal. Okay? Don't use too much. Okay. Cynthia, what are your thoughts on and intake on essential amino acid energy supplement or IsoPure, zero carbs, protein shakes, and this type of thing? I got no problem with that. If they're whey protein or whatever, I like whey. I digest whey. Some people don't. A lot of people don't, actually. I like bone broth protein better, but it's because it's got more collagen. But that's all right. I mean, if you like, I often recommend patients to have protein powders, and especially the very low carb, no sugar protein powders. You can make a Dr. Martin's perfect smoothie with it for kids. Okay? With that heavy cream. No, I got no problem with it. Sandy, I have pigmentation on my face, and I was really wondering, is it good to take vitamin D3? Yeah. There's a blood test whether you should take vitamin D3 or not. Prick your finger. If it comes out red, you need vitamin D. Everybody needs vitamin D. I don't care if you got pigmentation or not. You need vitamin D. Who doesn't? Now, you don't necessarily have to take a supplement if you are living in Florida, but Floridians, they didn't get the memo from Dr. Martin. Most of them are very low in vitamin D. You know why? They're scared skinny of the sun. So stupid. Okay? But vitamin D is for everyone. Hazel, what causes tinnitus? Well, tinnitus is usually, hello. It's your body saying, hello, Hazel. Now, it might not be you, might be a question for someone else. Your insulin is too high. Tinnitus is usually a symptom of an insulin problem. ear buzzing all the time. Your body is trying to tell you that your insulin is too high. You have high circulating insulin. Do the reset. Lower that. Oftentimes, tinnitus is, you get rid of it. And I like Navitol also with tinnitus, okay? Because it elevates your nitric oxide levels. I think somebody asked that, or was it on today? Anyway, we'll get there if I get there. What can I take for high pancreatic enzymes? Well, if you have high pancreatic enzymes, you're in doo-doo. Your body is telling you that you're going to get a pancreatitis, and the only way you get a pancreatitis, look, you can get an infection, it can happen, that it actually attacks your pancreas. But here's generally what's happening. You're a carboholic. You're a carboholic. Remember, you only really use insulin from your pancreas when you're a carboholic. And your pancreas releases enzymes. And when you got bad digestion, and usually bad digestion, you're a carboholic. Your body wasn't made for the crappy fuels. It will live with it, but it will complain. Acid reflux, tinnitus, I'm bloated all the time and this and that. Hey, man, change your diet, okay? Denise, can I talk about colitis and Crohn's? Well, Crohn's is autoimmune. Crohn's is autoimmune. Ulcerative colitis is autoimmune. Anytime you talk about autoimmune, there's a couple of things. One, it's bacteria, man. You don't have enough good guys. You have too many bad guys. I've never seen a case of Crohn's where they didn't have a major candida infection in the gut. It invaded the body. The body overreacts to the yeast, and you've got autoimmune. Ulcerative colitis, very serious, but it's bad. It's bad gut. It starts with the bacteria. It starts with the war in your gut. There's a war, whether you like it or not. It's like you read the Bible in Ephesians chapter 6, and it talks about an invisible war that goes on. We can't see it, between good and evil. The Apostle Paul said, I wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual forces of wickedness in heavenly places. Can't see it. Doesn't mean it's not going on. It's the same thing in your gut, guys. You got trillions of bacteria. When you step on a scale, take 3 pounds off. You got Dr. Martin's permission. 3 pounds off your weight. You know what's in there? That's 3 pounds of bacteria, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And when it's ugly, you're being set up for autoimmune. There's no autoimmune disease in the world that didn't start in your gut. MS, gut. Parkinson's, gut. It's yeast. How did yeast invade your body? Because you didn't have enough good bacteria. The good guys. This is why antibiotics, they save your life, but they create the double-edged sword. They kill your good guys. And man, if you don't replace that, you're in trouble, man. You're in trouble. And might not notice it today, but you will notice it. Ladies, you get a recurring urinary tract infection, you got leaky gut, leaky bladder. It ain't the bacteria, babe. It is yeast. Yeast. Okay. I get pretty... what does Dr. Martin think about G? Well, gee whiz. I love it, G. Okay? G is... It's great. It's great to cook with. You can get ghee. Is it better than butter? It's butter, but hey, this is good for you, man. It's part of my list of healthy oils, especially to cook with. Butter. Love it. Okay. Mary, how to keep potassium low? Well, fix your kidneys, Mary. Where you get trouble with magnesium and potassium is with kidney strain or stress. I often tell people that, again, sometimes you got blood work and the kidneys are stressed. You can actually see what the kidney function tests are and this and that. But I don't wait for that, because if you got potassium, if you got low levels of potassium or high levels of potassium, you got kidney problems. You got kidney problems. And don't go eating bananas to fix your potassium problem, okay? It's too sugary. You're just going to defeat the purpose. Oh, Dr. Martin, I need my bananas, but my potassium is low. No, you don't. Fix your kidneys. How do I do that? Drink lots of water, 2 liters of water a day, and get your stinking insulin down. Cut out the crappy carbohydrates. It ain't the salt. It's the sugar. Mary, love it. Cindy, springtime exhaustion. Mary, you're unique. No, you're not. A lot of people get that. It's allergies, man. On all allergies, remember, all allergies is leaky gut. It starts in the gut. Your body is producing antigens to the wrong things. Like ordinarily, hey, you're just going to breathe in pollen and this kind of thing, and ordinarily don't bother you. But when your body starts flagging those as bad guys, now you overreact to it. Now you start secreting an enormous amount of histamine, and you get allergies or asthma and this kind of thing. It can be seasonal, but you got to start in the gut. I tell kids, Dr. Martin, you know how many kids have pumps for asthma? It's like an epidemic. One of the causes is antibiotics when kids are small. Or even mommy took antibiotics, and in the placenta, the bacteria, they didn't get enough. And one of the things about C-sections, look, I'm just giving you facts, guys. I'm not telling women not to get a C-section. All I'm saying is there's a double-edged sword to that stuff. And, baby doesn't go down birth canal and get all that mommy's mucus and the bacteria coming into their sinuses and into their body. Baby needs that. Well, you bypass that. Okay. And that's why they're so much more susceptible to asthma. The connection is incredible. Our early antibiotics in early childhood. And milk. Not human milk. The grocery store milk, because somebody was asking, I think it's near the end of these questions here, okay? Ooh, I got lots of questions. I better get going. Holy moly. I might have to do this Monday again. Oh, I'll never get there. Who was saying this? Okay, Glenda. I have a granddaughter who is turning 1 year old and seems to be naturally weaning herself off of mom's breast milk. What's the best form of nutrition? Not pablum. Okay. I guess you can make a little bit of it. But start, first of all, don't give them milk. Get them to start to wean. They're weaning off mommy and onto water. And you don't have to put the, just, like what you're eating at the table, puree it and give it to baby. The meats and the, and some of your good vegetables and stuff like that. Kids are good with that. Okay, good question. Marie says, when I eat steak or red meat, I have cravings for sugar. Again, Marie, you're unique. Because usually, look at the testimonies. When you go on the reset and you're eating lots of red meat, people are going, man, I used to have cravings and I don't have any cravings. And Marie, if you have cravings, you're unique. That's all right. God made you unique. You got a different fingerprint than everybody else. Don't panic. Okay. Okay, where was I? Well, anyway, I don't think I'm going to get to all these this morning, but let me do a couple more. What is the difference in buying meats with nitrates versus celery powder? Well, nitrates are, it's vegetable powder. Vegetables have nitrates. Celery powder, I like it. Celery juice, be careful. I'm not big on juicing. Celery powder, yeah, it'd be good for you. You got no problem with that. Okay? I guess can you buy meats with that? I haven't noticed, okay, but it would be all right. Can you get bacon with celery powder? I don't know. I've never seen it. Okay? What to do after, and this is Lee's, what to do after hysterectomy? Well, let's just remind you, I was saying this to a lady the other night. When you have even if you have a total hysterectomy, you're still a woman. I think there's a song about that. I am a woman. Hold it. You don't want me singing. But listen, God gave you plan B, meaning that you got a total hysterectomy, maybe because of fibroids, maybe because of endometriosis or whatever, and you get a hysterectomy. Ladies, listen to me. You got plan B. Guess where those hormones come out of? You still got estrogen. You still got progesterone. Comes out of the adrenal gland. You got plan B. Okay? So be careful when a doctor wants to put you on hormonal therapy. I'm always leery of that. Because you know what they're giving you? They're giving you horse's urine. Now, if you eat hay, go ahead. But if you don't eat hay, you're not a horse. Hormones that come from the urine of a mare, okay, a woman horse. A horse is 10 times bigger than you are. Ladies, be very careful, okay? And, my doctor says I need estrogen, and then they give you horse's urine. Ladies, I love you, ladies. I got your back. I'm very reticent, okay? Very reticent to recommend that. You lose your bone. No, stay in good shape. You got plan B. Eat well. Eat well. The problem is not enough estrogen, because that's what they teach you. It's too much estrogen. That's why you got endometriosis in the first place. That's why you got polyps. That's why you got growth. Any growth needs estrogen. And why would they give you estrogen? I don't like estrogen. Ladies, I don't. There's estrogen in everything, every plastic, even those stinking masks. I have a feeling we're never going to get rid of masks. There's too many companies making masks. They match your outfit. I saw it. Rosie showed me in a magazine. Look, you're buying a dress, and here's a mask to go with it. It matches your outfit. I think we're never going to get rid of them. I see people outside. The sun's out. They got their mask on. I feel like going up to them and saying, hello, why do you have a mask on outside? You think the virus is going to jump like I was walking down the street the other day on the sidewalk. A couple saw me. They almost got killed in traffic. They couldn't get out of the way fast enough because here comes this idiot. That's what they must have been saying about me. Walking down the street without his mask on. Well, first of all, I'm outside. What do you have your mask on for? I always have a mask on, by the way. Did you know that? Yeah, it's invisible. You don't see it. It actually covers my eyes too. It's called vitamin A. You know how I get my vitamin A and have my invisible mask against viruses? Steak, vitamin S. I always have it on. Ooh. You want to get my blood pressure up? I think we're never going to get rid of the mask. There's a big industry in it. And when you got those, the ones you can buy, I don't even know, are they a greenish or a little bit of a bluish color there? They're made of plastic. You got plastic right over here. I can't stand it. How stupid is that? Ladies, that's going to elevate your estrogen, and estrogen is a growth hormone. Why do you think we have so much breast cancer today? Insulin and estrogen. Ooh, I see people and I want to scream. I want to scream. Your body's immune system. That's the key. Ooh, okay. I didn't get to half those questions today. I promise. Okay, I'm not going to say we're going to do it Monday. I have a couple of studies I wanted to do. But maybe Monday or Tuesday we'll do another one, okay? Because I want to answer all your questions. I just pontificate too long on different issues because I got to blow some steam off. Hey, love you guys, okay? Once again, just going to make a little announcement. Do you know that the metabolic reset... The metabolic reset is for everybody. It's the best. I'm just telling you, it's 100 times better than keto. And keto is good. Keto's good. Keto lifestyle, I got no problem with that. But it ain't the reset. The reset is the best thing you can do. Any chronic disease at all, name them, and the reset is what you should do. You got to eat anyways. You might as well reset your body. Get rid of the insulin, get rid of fatty liver, get your mitochondria, your battery packs going, and change your fuel, man. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, okay? And it's all available to you so that you can read about it in our new book, The Metabolic Reset, the #1 selling book in Canada. Thanks to you guys. Okay? So, it's available. I couldn't say that a month ago. It was out of print so fast. okay? And we thank you guys for that. Thank you for our faithful audience and followers and the Martin Clinic Facebook group. You have no idea how much we appreciate it, okay? Love you guys. Talk to you soon.